anti-Semitism means, and not everyone defines it in the same way. So how is the Trump administration defining anti-Semitism?
Yeah,
Probably
right now,
anti-Zionism, anti-white supremacy.
comes from what's known as the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's working definition, and the IRA definition begins by stating, quote, anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews, end quote. But it's contested for what else it says. Arnold Rosenfeld is a reporter at the Jewish publication The Forward, and he's been covering the climate on campuses.
What's controversial are the examples that they attach to it, roughly half of which are about Israel, and they include things like holding Israel to a double standard, or accusing Israel of being a racist endeavor, I think is the language in there. And those are alongside things like denying the Holocaust.
And Gina, I understand that some schools have rolled out training as well as policies that really hinge on that particular definition of anti-Semitism, including Columbia and Northwestern universities, to name a few. And schools have been fielding criticism for that in recent weeks and months. Tell us why.
Yeah, some of those trainings, like the one at Northwestern, were designed by pro-Israel advocacy groups like the Jewish United Federation. And some students at Northwestern told The Guardian that they feel these trainings are an attempt to chill speech that's critical of Israel. I reached out to the Jewish United Fund, and they told me that there's a line in one of the training videos that says, quote, it is not anti-Semitic to criticize the policies, practices, or members of the Israeli government, end quote. And the spokesperson there I talked to told me there's a big difference between criticizing policies of the state of Israel versus questioning Israel's right to exist and demonizing Jewish students for their connections to Israel.
I mean, this definition of anti-Semitism that the Trump administration is using and that many of these university trainings are also using, how did it come to be? Who defined it?
I actually had a chance to talk with Kenneth Stern, who helped author the IRA definition of anti-Semitism. So Stern is a Zionist, he's a supporter of Israel, and he says this definition was meant to be a rubric for data collection between governments of different countries who wanted to track incidents of anti-Semitism. And we talked before these mandatory trainings were put in place, but he says he's worried about what its usage in this way means for speech and what it means for Jews on campuses.
We're seeing an assault on the university, and for many folks using anti-Semitism as an excuse, and that troubles me even more because when you harm the university, when you harm democratic institutions, when you harm free speech, you look historically, Jews have not done well at those periods of time.
And this is something that Arnold Rosenfeld said
point.
as well. He told me that while most American Jews are supporters of Israel, Jewish students have always been heavily involved in, and in some cases, leading